So we've got Halloween coming up soon. Less than a week now. It's the 27th today, Sunday. Well, as you know, the clock went back last night. So yeah, Halloween on Thursday. And then, I don't know about you lot, Christmas countdown is on. Now we don't put the Christmas decorations up till last weekend of November, first weekend of December, depending on how we're looking. You know, if the 1st of December is a Monday, then we'll probably put them up last couple of days of November. However, if the 1st of December is like a Thursday, Friday, we'll put them up 2nd, 3rd of December. But yeah, it's getting close now. Getting excited. Kids have done about 5 Christmas lists already. None of which have been the official one, obviously. But yeah, so we've got Halloween to get through. I'm not a big fan of Halloween. It's just... I'm not one of these that going, oh, it's an Americanism. But it's just not my thing. Trick or treat, it's like, well, you just want a sweet. Well, I don't even answer the door. We just put a pot of sweets out and they're out and they're out. Kids will go trick or treating. It's just an annoyance for me. We're going to hear the same, 3 songs on the radio. Michael Jackson's Thriller, then you've got the Monster Mash and 1 or 2 others. It's just like they're on repeat all day. You think, that's worse than Christmas, because there's not that many songs and they just hammer them out going, no, it's great. It's not. Stop it. But yeah, then we're on the Christmas countdown. Winter, innit? So, yeah, getting through that. It's a weird one. So obviously it's darker earlier, so you feel like you've got to be quieter when you're outside, and then you go, oh, it's 5:30 and it's dark. So it's absolutely all right to do a bit grinding, hammering, welding, working, etc. And you think, oh, I'd much rather do it in the summer when it's light, but then everyone's outside in their gardens. Best off doing it in the winter, because most people are inside the houses, windows closed, doors closed. They're not going to hear it so much. So now is the time to be working on your projects, or start working on your projects at home. If you've got lots allowed, like myself, welding, grinding, hammering. It's this time of year to get it done. Obviously it's hard to get motivated because it's cold, it's wet a lot of the time. But once you get going, you know, you're moving, get going, get a lot of the noisy stuff done now. So when it comes to spring, summer next year, I mean, you might have already built it and by then you're fine. Me, I won't have done. But if I can get at least 99% of the body shell done, prepped, ready for paint, because that's money. I do want to paint it myself, but I'm going to have to find somewhere to paint it. I'm in a housing estate, so I can't be blasting 2-pack paint. So that if I can get it prepped and, you know, at least in primer, rattle can primer, just to protect it until I can find either the money to pay someone to paint it, or B, find somewhere to transport it to so I can paint it. But I can start mocking up subframes with the engine in, mounts and stuff. I go, okay, make sure that fits, it's correct. Build that up. Obviously I've still got to sort out the rear subframe. Still looking at beam axles, still looking at old rear subframes, if you know what I mean, a used one. If I find, I just want to find like a scrap one for now. You know, 15-20 quid for, or someone's just going, just take it, just so I can have a look at how you cut it so you make a beam axle that way, because I assume you have to then strengthen it somehow. If you cut it, obviously it'll need strengthening, but without one I can't see how to do it, because looking at pictures you don't get a clear indication. You want to have a look at all angles. So I mean, if you have one and you're local to North Colchester and you just want to get rid of it, or you know, 15-20 quid, whatever, let me know. We'll get it over here just so I can have a look, see how this does. You do it, or you know, I will save up for it's Huddersfield Spares, say their name right. They do a kit where you can buy just the beam axle, or you can spend a lot more money and get the coilovers, etc. as well. I will probably have to buy the beam axle first, and then further down the line buy the coilovers. Again, you can't fit any of this. You can test fit, mock up, etc. But until it's fully painted and you're ready to go, you put it on, take it off. It can't be fully fitted. So, I mean, but it'd be nice to go, okay, I'm ready for that bit once that's painted. If I could get it to a state where everything's ready to bolt on, or 99%, you know, and it's, once it's painted, get it in, and then just like, right, today I'm going to do the rear axle and the front axle and get it on its wheels. Then we're going to, next weekend I can fit the engine, and running gear, start wiring looms in as well. Just slowly start building up. That's when car build gets exciting. At this stage now, some people love this stage. To me, I hate it. It's the, oh, I've got so much to do. I'm not a big fan of welding. As you've seen, I'm not the best welder in the world, so it involves a lot of grinding, prep work. I've seen some people weld, and then they're there, you know, flappy disc, quickly clean it up, and they move on. I'm like, oh my God. But they just, one, better welder, don't blame your tools, but a better welder. If I had the money to buy like a £700-800 welder, where instead of 4 heat settings, it's a variable on a dial, and I could hone it in. That's not to say, and you get a professional welder, someone who's like, they'd do some amazing work with that welder. So it is a skill, and I'm not very skilled at it. I can weld, I'm not as good as I want to be. So that slows me down. I know it's an excuse, but it is what it is. But yeah, once I get past this stage and I can start, I mean, past this stage and painted, oh, that's the bit I really enjoy. Just carefully fitting it up, going, right, that's on, that's staying on now. Until you get to one bit, go, oh, I should have put that on first before that. But once we get to that build up stage and you can really see the progression, that's when it gets exciting for me. At the moment, that's a long way off. But like I say, get out there now, do it now. People are inside the houses. Don't do it at 9 o'clock in the morning. I think people will be a bit annoyed, but you know, people are inside. It is cold, so windows and doors are generally closed. My neighbour's door's open, they have a cat. But you know, so if you're, as long as you're not one of these that has the loudest grinder in the world and just stands there, be sensible with it. Not hours and hours of grinding, if you can help it. What I've done in the past, I've done some welding, grinding, and you know, if I've gone for a couple of hours, I will then stop. I will find something else to do. Obviously, a fire watch for the welding, but I won't spend all day grinding. I will then find something else to do out of common courtesy for other people. They don't want to hear it all day. Even with windows and doors closed, some places you can still hear it. Like I said, I'm in a housing estate, so they're still going to hear it, but it's not all day. They go, oh, it stopped. Oh, fair play. And then it's a week or two, and then you go out and do some more. It is slower, but it's respectful to your neighbours. Don't be that person. Some would argue, well, if it's 2 solid weekends of grinding and then it's done, but that's 2 solid weekends they're going to want to do you. Do you know what I mean? So each their own. Don't let me tell you what to do. You do you. But I'm just saying how I do it. Like I say, it's longer, but also because I don't enjoy it. After a couple of hours, not even 2 hours, maybe an hour, I'm just like, oh, I wish it was done. I mean, if you want to come and do it for free, I'll supply you with, you know, tea and biscuits. Oh, I'll go and get some hobnobs if that's the decider. If you want to come do it, weld that up. No, but you know, you've got to be able to weld. I don't want some pitch and poo everywhere. You know, unlimited tea and hobnobs. You know, I'll help. I'll do a bit of grinding, whatever. But if you're there and you can do it for me, that'd be great. And then yeah, we could move this on massively. Like I was saying, I've got most of the panels there. I've also got some glass. I've rear and front glass, although I have a sneaking suspicion the front window is actually chipped. I think that's one I took out of a previous motor. In fact, I'm fairly certain the silver one, the second one I built up, had a picture. I don't have a picture of it. Had a chip in the windscreen, right in the driver's sweep as well. So I think that's what that glass is. So that's actually, it's useless, no good to anyone. Yeah, I think that's, but it might be good. I could be wrong. I've got one, maybe two rear screens again. They've got the heating elements in, but I don't think there's any tags. But then I might want to go polycarbonate side and rear, so don't even need that. More expense though at the end of the day. I do have glass for the doors. I have, like I say, I've got a rear and I've got a front, but I think on the new one. Rear quarters don't have, and I don't recall ever seeing them, to be fair. So possibly polycarbonate, or I would get opening ones, because that does make a difference, being able to open them little latches, just airflow, which is why they fit them. So yeah, that's all down the line though. So we'll see. But yeah, let us know your thoughts. How do you do your work in your projects? Maybe you've got a tiny garage like this and you're in the same situation as me, and it's like, oh, I've got to do some welding, but I've got to spend an hour clearing it. But like I say, I managed that little bit last weekend. I'll show you. Do you remember this bit? So it doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look great, I'll give you that, but it doesn't look too bad. So, you know, that's a little bit, but it's progressed it on. And there, like so, with the top arms here, you know, I cleaned and painted them. Okay, that didn't take me too long. It was actually longer waiting for the paint to dry, but it moves it on. So when we get to that stage of, right, fitting my top arms, they're ready to go. Bearing kits, I need to change the bearings for that. So apart from the bearings, they're ready to go. But that ain't going to take me long. That'll be not new ones in, lots of grease, and yeah, ready to be fitted. And it's not right. I'm ready for my top arms now. Oh, they're still mucky and painted and unpainted and that. They are ready to go. So all little bits at the moment progress it, even though I'm not hitting the big stuff. Slowly progressing it. I was on the engine the other day, set all the tappet gaps, valve gaps, 12 thou, even on a supercharged engine, 12 thou. Rule of 9, everyone who knows old engines, 4 cylinders, remembers the rule of 9 when you're setting your gaps. So that's ready to go. So I need to purchase I want to get the silicon valve, rocker box cover gasket. I prefer them over the cork. I know cork's original, but it's not an original motor. Plus, once I've ran it a bit, I'm probably going to want to recheck those gaps anyway, once it's settled and everything's got itself in. I also need things I need: thermostat, that gasket, a radiator, and hose kit. I need a Verto clutch. Verto. Which will then need to be balanced, talked about before. So those are things I need. Things I would like. Now, it used to be DSN Classics, it's now SCAD or something. They're a mini specialist and they do billet aluminium stuff. They do thermostat housings, very nice. Alternator brackets. I've gone blank with what they do. Oil head, filter head. Bits. Breathers. They do loads, engine dress up bolt kits and stuff. You know when you look at something, go, I could buy that. Oh, I've spent everything, bought their entire stock. So I've got to be sensible. I have to split things down between things I need to make this work, things I would like. Radiator, I'm going to go with Alirad. It makes sense to save and buy the Alirad now, rather than get a radiator, because I don't have one, and then pay out again. So Alirad to start. Silicon hose kit, buy it once. Things like the oil filter head, the thermostat housing, etc. I have those, so I don't need them. So they're nice bits, things I want. That's on a separate list. So yeah, it's all about things I need, things I want. Get the things you need, get it working, and then you can dress up later. Now, like I said with the radiator, there will be stuff, it makes sense to buy it now, maybe because of its location. on the vehicle or difficulty changing it, etc. But generally it's not too much on cars like this. Some cars, you go, I really want that. Here's a big one, E-types. So the early E-types, series ones, they had some heater pipes that ran inside the bulkhead. Now to get to those, you had to open the flap and then get your arm in a hole about that big. And these pipes are about that long, there's 3 of them, hole about that big. But first you'd have to move the wiper linkage and everything. What else did you have in there? You had lots of wiring you had to get in there. There's something else in there. Anyway, basically you had to strip all of that out to get the heat to these heater pipes. So when we was restoring them, and we always replaced them with stainless steel rather than the original mild steel ones they were, because obviously they rust out. When you, and there's all bare metal stripped down to bare shell restorations, they were the first things you put in. Stainless steel. So you paid out for the stainless steel pipes. It was redundant to go, right, we'll just put these ones in and then later on we'll get stainless steel. No, buy the stainless steel, pay out more first, get them in, it's done, because the labour hours required to get them changed at a later date is insane. Like I say, you've got to take so much out. So get them in while it's a bare shell, because you've got the whole dash and everything goes in and everything. It's just, financially, it was a silly decision by people to go, well, no, I'll pay for them later. No matter how much you tell someone, pay out for them now. We're not trying to spend your money, we're trying to save you money. But there were times people would just go, no, I'll buy them later. And you'd have the car nearly built, trim was done inside, and they go, right, I've got these pipes. And you're like, are you serious? And we're like, that's 2 days, mate. And they're like, no, just, it's 2 days. We told you when it was a bare shell to get them now. But, so financially, there are times when you pay out for the better, nicer bits to start. This, not so much. Things I need, things I want to get it running. Ali Rad, I don't want to buy 2. Silicon hoses, always just buy them. Verto, like I said before, going to go with the turbo clutch kit. Makes sense to do that now rather than, if you ever done a clutch on a Mini, you get the puller on there. It can be a pain in the ass. So do it once. Obviously it's not going to be a high mileage motor, so that one clutch kit should last me a long time, depending on how I drive it. No, should last me a long time. Glass, I'm not too fussed about. If I do go polycarbonate, that's a nicety, not a must-have. I do need glass. I can get second-hand windows cheaper than a fully polycarbonate window kit, so it makes sense. Cheaper for now, save up, because it's a nicety. Polycarbonate windows are a nicety, not a necessity. So that's the way I've got to look at it. Now, other things, for instance, I'll get the, if you know Minis, you'll know what a wok is. This is the clutch cover housing. It also mounts the engine, so an engine mount there. This covers the clutch and operates that's your clutch lever. This needs all stripping down, lubricating. Those who know that pin, so I'm not looking forward to that. However, there are options out there where they're lightened ones, and they've just, all they've done is drilled holes. Now I could drill holes in this, or I could buy a replacement. I'm not going to, but I need to make that decision whether I'm putting this on as is, or with the holes drilled in. So this be lightened, better cooling, and it is lighter, but it needs to be made before I fit this and fit the engine in the car. Like I say, that's an engine mount bracket, so I'd then have to, if I was to get it all in the car and then go, actually I'm going to do that now, I'd have to support the engine, get this off, which isn't easy because you've got to disconnect your clutch, disconnect your engine mount, disconnect your starter, then you've got this ring of bolts around here. Now these ones are easy. These ones back here are a fiddle, mainly from there to, that's your engine there, that like 4, and possibly that one, I can't remember, are a fiddle at best. you know, so you've got to then take that off, then you've got to clean it up, this needs cleaning up, then drill it, refit it, etc. Or I can do it now. So yeah, I need to make that decision. As you see, I've made a start on, made a start on cleaning it, but we shall see. Still needs lots more to go. But that's a decision that needs to be made before I mount and fit the engine, which at the moment seems a long way off. But could come round quick, especially when you do little and often, all of a sudden you go, oh, actually that's ready to be fitted. So we shall see with that. Okay, well, I think I've waffled on long enough now. Let me have a look. I'm just doing that and that. 20 minutes I've been waffling on it here. I've got a couple of videos here. I might actually have to split this down into a couple of garage waffle videos, and we'll see. I'll have to watch it all, edit it, etc. But yeah, anyway, garage waffle seems to, I think people just like the look at a semi-old man waffling on in his garage for a bit, but it is what it is.